I'm here at the scene of the crime spree, right behind me.
Strange.
Vice Mayor Strange, you'll address her properly.
You can kiss my foot.
Mr. Rickard, you're out of order.
FBI, we are asking you to investigate this council. Please look into this council, how they award contracts, the bid process, how they use their positions to benefit their friends and themselves, how they use their positions to attack residents and critics and neighbors and business competition. FBI, will you please look into this?
And I welcome the FBI here. If you notice, Mr. Thompson, with his plea for the FBI and his watchdog group, this city runs the cleanest in this whole county. I guarantee
He was served a federal subpoena this morning.
We did receive a subpoena this morning, and we're going to cooperate 100% with the subpoena. And
Most of you who were involved up here, you gaslighted me. You tried to say I was crazy. And now we know that that's not true. And there's a lot of other issues I've been asking about as well.
There's some weird stuff going on in Bay County. I can feel that imminent other shoe is about to drop. And the Fed said it would drop by the end of this month. That's what they said. I am expecting, based on what they said publicly, that the indictment on the Lynn Haven officials, specifically on former Mayor Margo Anderson and developer Nick Finch, I anticipate that will be superseded by the end of the month, based upon what the feds have said. Now, what does that mean? It means they're going to add charges again to the former Lynn Haven mayor and the developer, but they could also add more defendants, and I anticipate that happening. I think the fit's about to hit the shan, is what I'm trying to say. And it is imminent. And I can feel it. Can you feel it? So why are the news outlets blatantly lying about something that may not be a big deal? But when they go through this much effort to lie to you about something obvious, my Feel the Burn watchdog alerts go off. And I want to tell you what I'm talking about. So, you know the story about Lynn Haven and the federal corruption bust. Well, there was also a former commissioner by the name of Antonius Barnes who was indicted. He has pleaded guilty to accepting bribes, and I believe he is probably singing right about now. So is former Lynn Haven City Attorney Adam Albritton. Now, in the Antonius Barnes indictment, it's very interesting, right? You may recall that the former city manager, Michael White, pleaded guilty as well. Michael White began in Lynn Haven in 2017. Prior to that, prior to May of 2017, there was a different city manager. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you what I'm talking about, right? Because if I say it, I show it, don't I? But before I do, I want to remind you about this. If you've got a honey-do list or you need some work done around the home or office, call Paul, PCB. He's licensed, insured, and he's a friend of mine. Here is the indictment on Antonius Barnes, former city commissioner in Lynn Haven. All right, you see that? Now, in this, I want you to look at item number 11. Two other city commissioners began showing concern about one of individual A's projects with the city. I believe individual A is James Finch, but I'm not certain about that. The mayor and another commissioner supported individual A. Barnes's position was unclear to the city manager. Who's the city manager? Well, it depends on the time frame, doesn't it? Individual A stated to the city manager that Antonius Barnes would dance for me if I wanted him to. He probably wants more money, or words to that effect. All right. So that is, again, the indictment on Antonius Barnes. Here is the news article that came out in the News Herald on Saturday. Now look at this. Look at the second paragraph. It says Michael White, the former city manager, and former community services director David Horton also were charged in the corruption scandal. Both have pleaded guilty and await sentencing. This, if you look up top, talking about Mayor and Margo Anderson, the mayor, and Commissioner Antonius Barnes. This was an article that came out Saturday about Antonius Barnes. All right. He was elected in 2014. Now, when he was elected in 2014 and 2015, who was the city manager? It wasn't Michael White, because Michael White didn't start until after Joel Schubert left. In 2015, when the accusations and the charges against Commissioner Barnes took place in 2015, the city manager in that indictment was not Michael White, as the News Herald said it was. The other news outlets haven't told you who it is. I'm going to not only tell you who it is, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you a little context behind this. All right, so we're going now to my Facebook page. If you are not following my Facebook page, you're missing out. You really are missing out. All right, so here we are. Let's take a look at what I posted earlier. This was something I posted yesterday, and this is the first anyone heard of this. I said the fit's about to hit the shan as I try to figure out who will be ensnared when the impending other FBI shoe drops. This old article stands out. All right. And if you want to see it, just you scroll down to yesterday. This is 21 hours ago. The news outlets pretend that the Lynn Haven City Manager prior to May 2017 was Michael White. It wasn't. It was this man. It was Joel Schubert. Now, Joel Schubert is the assistant county manager. Former Lynn Haven Commissioner Antonius Barnes has pleaded guilty to taking a bribe, and he's now singing. When Barnes was taking loans from indicted developer James Finch in 2015 to steer contracts, Joel Schubert was the city manager in 2015. For some reasons, news outlets won't tell you this. But read the article closely. Schubert was seen recently with County Commissioner Griff Griffiths and political operative Arthur Cullen, also known as Alex Cantone, his fake Facebook profile. Now, Commissioner Griffiths and Joel Schubert have a nonprofit. The nonprofit is called Bay County Employee Care, Inc. It's a nonprofit that began right after Hurricane Michael. Originally, it was started with then county attorney Jennifer Schuler, but she left the county a few months ago. That was soon after I received a public record request about it. The feds said their dragnet into massive public corruption will expand by the end of October. Now, these four developments have brought new evidence to light. The August 5 search warrant on GAC contractors was about what? I don't know. August 5th. Okay, August 5th. And gosh, they spent 14 hours or so taking out all kinds of evidence. It's new evidence. Former Lynn Haven attorney Adam Albritton has pleaded guilty and is surely singing. Former Lynn Haven Commissioner Antonius Barnes has pleaded guilty and is also singing. And former Bay County Planning Board member Kim Bottomy was arrested September 22nd and is most likely spilling the beans. Now, what's all this going to come down to? The big, giant investigation into public corruption in Bay County, throughout Bay County? Well, I expect it's going to have a lot to do with roads, land deals, stormwater. These are going to become major aspects of this snowballing investigation. Now, is that not a pretty big deal? That's a pretty big deal. I want to see what you're saying. I've got more to tell you. You're not going to believe this. Absolutely not going to believe this. I sure appreciate that, Joseph. Thank you very much. Yes, it really does, Randy. It really does. And again, look, things are supposed to happen anytime. I mean, we could wake up tomorrow and it happens tomorrow. But I want to tell you more. This is so important that you know these things and I don't know why the news won't tell you this. I'm not even saying that Joel Schubert has done anything wrong, although I'm going to explain in a moment some controversy surrounding him. Okay. But why did the News Herald lie and say this? Why did the News Herald, look at the bottom, White, the former city manager? He wasn't the former city manager in 2015 when this article, at the time frame this article was talking about. Now, the publisher for the News Herald, Tim Thompson, he announced last week that he's retiring. He's whatever it is that publishers do. Tim Thompson is the publisher for the News Herald. They know these things. Why are they lying to you? Now, he said he was going to retire. By the way, he got a big endorsement when he said he was going to retire. State Senator George Gaynor said that Tim Thompson, the publisher of the News Herald, said he really understands local politics. He got some other interesting endorsements. He's a real newspaper man, Tim Thompson. Well, then, Tim, why are you lying to everybody? All right, you're not going to believe what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to read you more about this, and who knows where this is going. But I do want to share this with you as well. It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan could make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at pcairrepair.com. All right, let's get back to my Facebook page where there's more information on this that you won't find anywhere else for some reason. See, that's what gets me. The fact that they're absolutely adamant about not telling you that in 2015, when Antonius Barnes, who's charged with taking bribes for the 17th Street project, the city manager was not Michael White. It was Joel Schubert. Let's get back to this. I'll show you another post I made about this. Again, if you're not following this page, you're missing out. Here he is. This is an article that came out when he resigned, rather. See this? City manager resigns to take a position with Bay County. See, now Joel Schubert is the, what is all this over here? Now Joel Schubert is the, assistant is the county manager. What is all this over here? Let me make sure. Now Joel Schubert is the, all right. Now Joel Schubert. Okay. Assistant is the so let's take a look at what I said about this. This is now Joel Schubert. This is important stuff. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Assistant is the why are all local news outlets pretending that Michael White was the Lynn Haven City Manager? Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Former commissioner. Why are all local news outlets pretending that Michael White was the Lynn Haven City Manager? Joel Schubert was the city manager. Why are all local news outlets land deals and then promptly resigned 7 months later? Joel Schubert was the city manager. Why are local news outlets and then county manager for Bay County. Joel Schubert was the city manager. County Cullen, aka Alex Cantone, on Facebook, and then especially interested in land deals and in roads, aka Alex Cantone. Now it is so demonstrably obvious that Joel Schubert was the former manager of land deals and in roads. I just showed you that. Now it is so demonstrably Joel Schubert was the conspiring behind this information. I just showed you that. What's in it? It is so demonstrably Joel Schubert was the conspiring behind this information. There's more to follow on this. And there's more. What's in it? It is so demonstrably Joel Schubert was the conspiring. I mean, this is a big deal, right? The audio freaked out. Oh boy. Okay, is it better now? It's not better now? Oh boy. Tell me if it's better now. Can you hear me better now? Y'all are cracking me up. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Yes, it's better now. Okay. So did you follow though what I was telling you about, or everybody's caught up to speed? Okay. So I do want to show you this weird PR campaign that Panama City Beach is doing. I mean, it's weird, right? First of all, do you remember last week that the Tourist Development Council that gives Panama City Beach Mayor Mark Money Mover Sheldon, who owns Gulf Coast Jan and Sam Jam, they've been giving him more than $1 million every year. And it's, I mean, it equals, it's like $10 million, I think, at this point. Could be more, could be a little bit less. As soon as I find out, I'll tell you. But let me show you this wacky campaign, this PR campaign that Panama City Beach is doing ever since Mayor Mark Sheldon has gone missing.
Have you received a speeding ticket for which you want no points placed onto your driving record? I'm El Saulene, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
All right, here we go. Back to the Facebook page.
Let me help you.
This is weird. Look, there's Al right there. All right, here we go. All right, so
in
in a bizarre PR
Let me
campaign,
help you.
Panama City Beach government brags about hiring a certain law firm over the past. So in a bizarre PR
Let me
campaign,
help you.
Panama City Beach government brags about hiring Mark Money Mover Sheldon shares a building over the past. In a bizarre
Let me help
remember, he
you.
owns Gulf Coast Jam. This is brags about hiring Gulf Coast Jam, San Jam, and then Harrison Arundel.
Let me help you.
Well, let's take a look at this. Look at this. This was posted today. Thank you to our city attorneys with Hand, Arundel, Harrison, and Sale. If you look closely at that, oh my gosh, do you see it? Holy crap. That is a copy and paste job. Oh my God, the whole thing's a copy and paste job. I didn't notice that until I blew it up. Oh, that's so weird. I don't know what that means, but that's weird. That was not just typed, I don't think, was it? Damn, the whole thing looks like that. Even the, see right here, even the Panama City Beach government. Wow. There is a very strange PR campaign going on. All right, so let's see. You saw what they said there. Here's what I want you to see, though. Look at that. Just down the street is the office of Gulf Coast Jam, and the building is shared with the city attorney. So the mayor shares the same building with the city attorneys. And he and Cole Son Davis spend a lot of time together in that building. Who knows what they talk about? Okay. It's doing that again, huh? All right. Well, I think you can probably hear me now. So they share an office together, Cole Son Davis and Mayor Money Mover Sheldon. Who knows what they conspire to do? But I'm sure, it's just, business, right? It's just city business. They probably never talk about anything, just city business. Anyway, these are so important. Why is it, do you think, that the news outlets are not telling you about who the identity of the city manager in 2015? Why are they going through all this? And why did the News Herald outright lie about it? I don't know. But it's got my attention. Anytime something like this is happening, it gets my attention, and there's something there. Now, I'm confident that the investigators know this. I really am. I have reasons to be confident that the FBI knows about this. I don't know where it's heading, but I do believe this. When this next indictment comes, it's called a superseding indictment. I believe, and I don't know this to be true, but I believe that they're going to not only add charges to former Mayor Margo Anderson in Lynn Haven and James Finch, the developer, but I do believe that they are going to add more defendants, and I believe that it will expand beyond Lynn Haven. And then I think the focus will be on the unbelievable corruption, the conspiring to commit fraud, the racketeering, the money laundering, the bid tampering, all this kind of stuff. I believe will focus on three main things: on roads, the DOT, the Senate Transportation Committee. I believe it will focus on stormwater. By the way, did you know that the Northwest Florida Water Management District chairman is also, his name is George Roberts. He's also the biggest road builder in the area. I went to their last meeting, the last public hearing about 3 weeks ago. And went on the day of that meeting, Panama City Beach awarded Chairman Roberts, who was voting on the stormwater millage rate, the water millage rate. He had received he was awarded $300,000 from Panama City Beach that day. And 2 days prior to that, he was awarded $2.2 million from the county to repave 2 miles of road. And when they voted on the water millage rate 3 weeks ago, when I was in the meeting, I recorded it, they were talking about what they wanted to do with stormwater. I'm telling you, stormwater, roads, these are going to be two of the big things that this investigation ends up focusing on, I believe. All right. I think that's about everything I needed to tell you tonight. Maybe one more thing.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
So if you want more people to know about this, since the news outlets are not telling anybody, here's what you can do. Tag your friends, share this, and ask around. What's the deal? I say it all the time. The extent to which we have public corruption is the extent to which local news outlets refuse to cover it. Why don't they cover it? Because they are public-private partners now with the news. Our local government and news outlets are public-private partners. And that goes deep. And I don't want to get too into it right now. But I will tell you, if you want to support my individual efforts, my independent efforts, here's one way to do it. You can become a patron if you go to patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. You can donate monthly to my efforts. It's crowdfunding is what they call it. And it's easy and it's anonymous and you can quit at any time, patreon.com. All right, I'm going to wrap it up and I will see you again soon. Tomorrow could be a big day. I can't help but think tomorrow is going to be a big day, especially in light of what the Fed said. They said they're going to supersede the indictment or they're going to add more by the end of October. We don't have many more days left until the end of October. Hey, WMBB. Hey, News Herald. Hey, News Herald. Hey, WJHG. Why are you pretending that the city manager prior to May 2017, especially in 2015, in the Antonius Barnes indictment, why are you pretending that that's Michael White when it's really Joel Schubert?